Hi everyone, we are getting very close to Eufuria 2026. Welcome to the Black Parade. All you need to know for our theme is that emo is short for emotional. Okay, that's the video. Bye! Okay, you're right, random audience member. We should educate you about our theme. Let's talk more about EmOwO history. First, let's talk about what emo is. Emo is a genre of rock music that combines hardcore punk with emotional ballads and with aspects of confessional poetry within lyrics. Emo has also expanded beyond music to its own subculture, often reflecting on expression through fashion. I'm gonna need some help getting through the details more. Here's some other staff members to help me share more.
Emo is short for emocore, which is short for emotional hardcore, which found its roots in the hardcore punk scene in Washington, D.C. in the 1980s. In that time, certain members of the hardcore community were growing disdain over the violence the scene was harboring. Bands broke away from the typical hardcore sound to add more personal lyrics and melodies to their music while still being punk. This became the blueprint for what emo would become. Key bands from this movement include Rites of Spring, Embrace, and Beefeater. In its early stages, emo was considered an insult to these bands, and a lot of the fundamental emo bands did not consider themselves emo at the time. This quickly changed as time went on. The emo influence would mix with other styles of music to form its own subgenres, such as Midwest emo, or the more chaotic subgenre known as Screamo.
Midwest emo has inspiration from math and indie rock, commonly described as melodic, while incorporating unconventional vocal styles and guitar riffs to create a unique sound. However, Midwest emo can be traced back as far as 1983. An example of a more well-known early Midwest emo band is Penfold. Originating in New Jersey, they started making music in 1997, took a break in 2002, and is currently making music again.
Second wave emo, 1990s. Screamo is the chaotic, opposite approach to Midwest emo. Featuring primarily screamed vocals, the lyrics are often more bleak and hopeless, commonly featuring themes of emotional pain, death, romance, and human rights. Page 99 is a good example of Screamo, while also under the hardcore punk and emo violence genres. Even though the original emo core / emotional hardcore sound became less popular, it was still very commonly found and played in the 1990s.
Midwest emo and pop punk started combining to create a music that was accessible and more catchy to the common listener, causing emo pop, post-hardcore, and nu metal to soar in popularity. This includes bands like My Chemical Romance and Green Day for emo pop, Alexis on Fire for post-hardcore, and Linkin Park for nu metal.
Screamo continued to evolve in multiple ways, both mainstream and underground. Hello? The Used, to name a more well-known band, utilized Screamo in music that was considered the start of pop Screamo. Screamo evolved underground, mixing with genres such as post-rock to create what was later referred to as post-Screamo. A band that can be used as an example of post-Screamo is Circle Takes the Square.
Fourth wave emo, also known as the emo revival, took place roughly from the 2000s to the 2010s, which is where a lot of Gen Zers, such as myself, really got into the genre. The emo revival is considered a period of rising popularity for Midwest emo again, with Pennsylvania-based band Tiger's Jaw being one of the bands to pioneer the way. Basement shows became popular again, and local emo scenes were popping up across the United States. One notable location was the neighboring state of Connecticut in Willimantic. There was a growing popularity of a mix of the revival and a mix of screamo, post-hardcore, and emo, resulting in a new sound referred to as the wave, pioneered by bands such as La Dispute. Soft grunge also became popular again, with the genre being mixed with others like pop punk and alternative rock. An example of soft grunge is some of Smashing Pumpkins and Soundgarden's music.
In the 2000s, emo subculture was extremely active in online communities. Before social media, emos were big into blogs, on sites like Zanga, LiveJournal, or maybe Insane Journal if you were super edgy. Personal websites in this era were all about customization and self-expression, and emos took the opportunity to flex their HTML chops by theming their pages with heavily stylized fonts, tiling background patterns of skulls and bleeding hearts, flashing GIFs, and let's not forget the auto-playing MP3 of their favorite emo song. At full volume, of course. Message boards, Yahoo groups, and AOL Instant Messenger chat rooms were places for emos to share music and culture, talk about bands, and meet other people with similar interests. Emo was not yet mainstream, so these online spaces were crucial in a time where being emo, but knowing no one else who shared the same interests, could feel very isolating. MySpace was a significant factor in emo music's explosion into mainstream pop culture. It made the customizability of a personal website more accessible, with two key aspects built in: a music player and a bulletin section for updates. Not only could you add a band to your top 8 friends, you had a good chance of directly talking with them. Social media managers weren't really a thing yet, definitely not so for up-and-coming emo musicians hungry for their big break. The band members themselves usually were the ones posting updates and reading comments at this time. This sounds great for fans of any music genre, so why so many emos? Turns out that Tom Anderson, the founder of MySpace and every user's first friend, was an emo fan himself. He would go to Warped Tour and put songs from the bands he heard there on his MySpace page, sending them viral. Prior to this, bands weren't really accessible to their fans. MySpace put up-and-coming emo musicians and their fans on the same level, which was a game changer. Here, emo fans could get access to street team materials like flyers and stickers for promotion, play songs on repeat to learn all the words before going to a show, and even influence bands' next singles by voting in polls. Do you love Hey There Delilah by the Plain White T's? You can thank a MySpace emo kid for that. Circa Survive played secret shows for their MySpace friends, and Fall Out Boy sold limited merch that could only be bought with a passphrase from MySpace.
The emo subculture has a long history of giving a space to those who don't fit in with the mainstream crowd. The music was a way to feel, experience, and process emotions and current events at times. Furries, much like the emo music and subculture, use our appearance as a form of expression, as well as music and events respective to our subculture.
During the first and second wave of emo fashion, it was referred to as geek chic, which was supposed to be a stark contrast to the style of punk. That this would commonly be thick-framed glasses, sweater vests, and short hair. This was more to align with indie rock and what was otherwise known as nerd culture. Mainstream emo fashion, which is the most recognized, originated in the 2000s. This is commonly characterized by long black hair, skinny jeans, band tees, and zip-up hoodies. Raccoon tails were also popular, with stripes of colors added to your hair that resemble the stripes of a raccoon's tail. Oh, and don't forget your Converse. There are many subcultures in emo fashion, such as the scene community that was a youth-focused subculture most recognized by raccoon tails. There are popular visual art styles.
Emo is all about expressing your feelings and sharing your emotions with other people. In addition to music and fashion, art is a super important part of emo culture. Art sites like DeviantArt were very popular with emos of the 2000s. The visual art style often coincided with the art styles of the online scene community. It was characterized by sketchy dark art with exaggerated proportions. Common motifs of emo art included skulls, broken hearts, vampires or bats, death-related imagery, and sad characters. Whether drawing in your sketchbook or on the tips of Converse sneakers, these little doodles were everywhere. Emo artists took influence from album art of their favorite bands and media that shared similar motifs. Visually, the work of artists like Edward Gorey and Tim Burton made significant contributions. You can see sketchy lines, repetition of curly cues and stripes, and pale figures with dark eyes and wild hair. Subjects were macabre and unsettling, dealing with themes of being unusual and feeling different from everyone else. As emo started to grow mainstream, comics like Emily the Strange, movies like The Corpse Bride, and TV shows like Invader Zim found their way into the hearts of emos everywhere.
How to immerse yourself in Eufuria's theme. Wear merch corresponding with your favorite emo band and fashion trends. A lot of emphasis in the emo subculture, much like punk, is DIY. Create your own band merch with your creativity and visit thrift stores to buy secondhand clothes you can be creative with. Incorporate the theme into your badge. Persona badges are a good way to show off your persona. Why not make it in the sketchy 2000s theme everyone knows from this era? Host panels and events related to your favorite part of the emo subculture. Do you want to share with everyone your favorite underground emo band? Do you want to teach your audience the guidelines to emo art in the 2000s? Why not host an emo fashion show? The floor is yours to share what you want.
And that's all we have time for. We can't wait to host you this year at Eufuria 2026, the Black Parade. Oh, before you go, what's everyone's favorite emo song?
I would have to say my favorite song in the genre is King for a Day by Pierce Levine.
What's my favorite song? I would have to say Ain't It Fun by Paramore.
My favorite emo song is Dance Dance by Fall Out Boy.
My favorite emo song is Thank You for the Venom by My Chemical Romance.
My favorite emo song is American Idiot. Hoffman's favorite emo song is... You can't know that. You're not allowed.
My favorite emo song has to be Miss Murder by AFI.
If I had to pick my favorite emo song, it would be I Write Sins, Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco.
My favorite emo song has gotta be Shit Twins by Dads.
My favorite emo song is actually the album Danger Days by MCR.
My favorite emo song is...
My favorite emo song is So Alone by Anna Blue. Isn't that a ringtone? Yes, it's a ringtone, but that just makes it more emo.
My favorite emo song is Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace.
What's my favorite emo song? Gotta be The Bird and the Worm by The Used.
My favorite emo song is None of Them. Emo sucks!